Good day, parents and students. This is Mr. Kinsick here, and I will be teaching personal finance. So I just wanted to send a little welcome email with some of our class procedures, but then also just send this video so you can see my face, since I know most of the class time I'm going to look like that. I'm going to try to use videos once a week to introduce kind of like that lesson this year. I know a lot of you I've had for personal finance as sixth graders. And because of that, I decided to not use the curriculum that I used in sixth grade. I wanted a kind of a fresh perspective, something different. So we've used some Dave Ramsey software in the past, curriculum. And although it's good, I just wanted something different. So we've kind of partnered with German American Bank in Bloomington, and they gave us access to a curriculum that they've developed. It's a total of 12 lessons. It starts out, the very first lesson is about careers. So just kind of looking into like average pay for a job, how much education's needed, and then progressing through things like budgeting and how to balance a checkbook, how to write a check, what is insurance, those types of things. And I see German American Bank coming alongside of us, especially maybe on Wednesdays during our e-learning days. We're going to host some Google Meet sessions then, and I see that maybe some of those kind of experts in the field could join us and talk with students firsthand. So we've already had some conversations about that, the bank and I have, so hopefully that will happen. So I absolutely love teaching personal finance. I've taught it both as a math teacher and had that as my elective, and then I've also taught it as a social studies teacher. And I feel like it's my return to the social studies classroom this year. But personal finance is that beautiful blend of both, math concepts of money, but then also the social aspect of behavior. And we talk a lot about that in this class. So I really do. I think when sometimes parents see it on a schedule, or maybe students are like, what is this? Why are they taking this? But I think by the end, I try to give them very practical application, and a great place for you to have a lot of conversations with your child about things that you've dealt with in finance, having a mortgage, or renting an apartment, or getting a loan on a car, or getting your first credit card. Those are conversations that you can have with students, and I can share my own experiences with students, but you're going to have a lot more time where your student is at home, and I would love for you to be able to share those things. So students will have a video that they'll need to watch, usually about once a week, probably about 10 to 15 minutes in length. I'll probably give them a note sheet that they can fill out, and that will just kind of help prepare them for in class. And then my newsletter talks a lot about virtual assignments, and that really is the piece I haven't completely figured out what that looks like yet, because the curriculum comes with some activities, but I'm really going to have to design a lot of the things myself. In the past, personal finance really didn't have a lot of homework given to it, and since I'm only seeing students for 80 minutes once a week with the hybrid model, they're going to need to do some things outside of class. So I really see it kind of being a place to have a conversation kind of with you, maybe some surveys that could get filled out. Like I said, the first chapter is going to be about careers. So I see kind of having students investigate a couple of jobs and trying to find out, what like annual salaries look like. That might be a good place that we'll start, and that may be what some of those virtual assignments kind of look like whenever kids are not here with me. When they are here with me, we'll do some kind of good review of the material that they've covered outside of class, and then we'll do other activities that just kind of really enhance that. I try not to have this class be, a burden, and it's an additional class, I know, but it's a really important class, and it's in the class I don't want to neglect and just shortchange them on getting some of that information. We will use Google Classroom. So in the newsletter that I'm sending out, you should have a code for students to join. And then once they join that, I can get them access to the videos that I'll create. And they'll watch those through something called Edpuzzle, and they will get a grade for that because it allows me to track that they've watched the video to completion, and that there'll be questions embedded, and they need to get those questions right. That kind of defeats the purpose if a student hits play and then just walks away and says, "Hey, I watched the video." So Edpuzzle really allows me to check that they're gaining that information. We will have some tests and quizzes. They never really seem to be We really cover the information pretty well, and it's really a lot of practical application. So I try to not make them super challenging to the point of, it's not like they're going to have to, be an accountant to figure things out. And we really don't emphasize the money aspect, the math aspect so much of money, more so just like the what are terms and how do they apply to us. So I think that's really about it. Like I said, Edpuzzle, they'll have like a weekly video, and then there'll be a couple of virtual things that they're going to do, and then they'll do some activities with me, and then probably about every 2 weeks or so, there will be some kind of an assessment. Like I said, in this first 9 weeks, I'd like to cover 6 of the lessons, and then we're going to do some online modules as well. Students might remember, if they had me last year for personal finance, we used EverFi. We did another one called PwC Earn Your Future. Those are things that I would still like to do again this year. So that may be a little bit of some kind of a repeat for students, but they do have different levels. So if a student had me last year and they feel confident, I can move them up to a higher level, give them a kind of like a fresh take on some of the lessons that are in there. So like I said, I really love personal finance. Hopefully parents will get to meet maybe a little bit more face-to-face at some point. I know that's really challenging in these first days of school. Always feel free to email me. That's in the newsletter. And I use Remind, and there's ways to contact me there. So the link to sign up for Remind is in the newsletter. And I think that really should do it for me for now. Look forward to this class and all that the students are going to learn. Thanks.